Well, the temperatures are cooling off, but the sun is still shining, and that makes for perfect football weather in the city of Pittsburgh at Acrisure Stadium. Today, we've got a good one on tap in the AFC North, as it'll be the Cleveland Browns taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And we are underway from Pittsburgh. And able to get this out to the 25. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
Almost certainly a future Hall of Famer, and he's still seeking the storybook ending to his career. But he had patience, looked around, took his time before choosing his team. And boy, they glad that he did, because he still has a lot of juice left despite being 41 years old. Finishing the top 10 in passing yards last season with nearly 4,000 yards and touchdowns as well with 28.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now run straight ahead with Warren. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. To throw, it's Rodgers. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. 9 yards on the play and a first down.
That's good for a Steelers first down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
And if they're throwing on 3rd down, it's a good bet. They're going to look his way. He's the most reliable of their receivers, and he comes through there with a nice grab for the first down.
Now it's Rodgers. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. That's to his running back, Gainwell. And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 12 yards that time, and a Pittsburgh first.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
A short one there to Fryermuth. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Here's Rodgers. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns 16. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
That's another Pittsburgh Steeler.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Rodgers now to throw. And in for the Steelers touchdown. DK Metcalf from 4 yards out. And the Steelers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 7-0. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And here are the Browns for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their rookie QB, the young man out of Oregon.
There's a lot to like about Dillon Gabriel's game, and that was registered in the NFL draft when he went in the 3rd round. Incredibly experienced, started 63 games in college, which is an FBS record. He may be undersized, but he understands the offense very well, and he's a terrific competitor. Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Jalen Ramsey with a sack on the corner blitz. Everybody was coming on the blitz that time, and they got home.
And you know the expression, hat on a hat, in terms of blocking, trying to keep your quarterback protected? Well, if you don't have enough hats, that's the end result. Your quarterback goes down, and sometimes he goes down hard.
So here's a 3rd and 14. Back to throw. Gabriel. And that is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. This is brought in at the 21. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time? Let's keep doing it until they stop us. Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On play action, now Rodgers. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
Now Rodgers. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Off play action. Gabriel. Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. Cameron Hayward busting through to get him for a loss of 6. We had a pretty good idea that they were going to pressure this young quarterback, and that's now 2 sacks here in the first quarter.
And, yeah, this is a secret to exactly nobody, because if you're a rookie quarterback, you know you're going to see pressure. Defenses want to see how you're going to handle it, or if it forces you into making bad decisions. That's their goal.
How to approach this. 3rd down and 16 yards to go. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And he is going to go down here, but we also have the penalty marker at the line of scrimmage. They may have jumped the gun. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. Here's Corey Bojorquez now. On the return, Austin. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this third drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of a tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's a tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well in that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. Throwing now is Rodgers. And he completes it to Wilson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards the pickup there.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Myles Garrett. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Impressive individual effort there. No one was going to stop him around the edge.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's why if you play in a 4-3 base and you're a defensive end, that's why you get the big bucks. They count on you to do everything. Defend the run and, of course, get to the quarterback.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Austin brings in the quick throw.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Rodgers going to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Oh, good move. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
First down, Browns.
Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
He's got a man. That's caught left sideline. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
But certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's a completion right there.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
They'll look to throw again. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Derek Harmon breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Now a toss left side for Jenkins. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming 4th down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
So on 4th down, Kevin Stefanski trots out the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
And all in all, pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
To throw is Rodgers. Completes it to Austin. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Brings up 3rd down.
Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. Throwing is Rodgers. He's got his target. That's complete. Down the right sideline. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. 56 yards. And the Steelers go up by 2 touchdowns. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. Extra point now by Boswell. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3.
Makes the score. Steelers
The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown.
Chris Boswell.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Cleveland offense making their way out. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Dillon Gabriel.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through the entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be second and a couple.
At the 39-yard line.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Gabriel. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. First down, he'll drop to throw it. A short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be second down.
But there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected, but sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to, so sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
2nd and 6. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Back to throw. Gabriel. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or 2 there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line. And CD, that's the 2nd time this half they've put it on the carpet. Now, the first one they lost. Good news here, it doesn't cost them.
They do say that things even out in the course of a ball game. So you mentioned they lost the first one. This time, able to retain possession, but they can't get into this habit. The ball can't continue to go on the ground.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Back-to-back great plays defensively. Get the sack on 1st and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 3rd and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
And this one is right through. And a second field goal here gets them back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with Rodgers behind center, you wonder if they'll take one shot at this. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick halftime report. We'll let both sides catch their breath and get their orange wedges as we're going to get ready for the third quarter action. So let's go back out to the stadium as we rejoin our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. And we welcome all of you back here on EA Sports for quarter number 3. The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Browns offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's second down.
At the 30-yard line.
Looking to throw. Gabriel. And he will find his man on the outside. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5.
And that's one of the better plays we've seen this offense put together so far. They haven't been able to get on track much at all. But listen, they're only down a couple of scores with the rest of this quarter, and the entire fourth remaining, so stranger things have happened.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On the zone read, this is Judkins. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. There's your co-NFL record holder, T.J. Watt, doing what he does best, terrorizing quarterbacks.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. The Browns send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. On play action. Rodgers. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
That's good for us Steelers. First down. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Well, that turned out better than most of the passes he could have thrown on that snap. The coverage downfield was excellent, but the containment close to home left him a backdoor escape, and they paid dearly for not locking up.
They toss it to Warren. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Now Rodgers. And he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
And that could have been the lifeline they needed. This is a play that could have been made. Instead, it's just going to fall incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play. That means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Rodgers. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
The Steelers send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Well, the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Keanu Benton, the one who got in to bury him. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
They'll go with the keeper. And he is going to have the Browns 1st down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
And when all you want to do is keep your drive going, quarterback sneak's a great call, isn't it? Pick it up, get a new set of downs.
And on 3rd down, usually you think 4th down quarterback sneak. There, though, it worked on 3rd. Now this time he'll look to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. 3rd quarter action in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, PA. Back to throw. Gabriel. This one is complete to Judkins. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the 2nd half.
from the gun on third down. Gabriel dancing to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. The third down conversion successful. A gain of 11.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
On first down, here's Judkins. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. From just across the midfield stripe, here's a 2nd and 4. A toss to Judkins, running right. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
And we've seen this a few times in this game. That offensive line just, I don't know if you want to call it out physical, out tough, whatever you want to use.
And what people do when that is happening, when they're getting dominated that way, they spread things out a little bit, make it more of a space game, and allow your skill position players to make a few plays out in open field. Take away the physical element, gives you a chance.
Buying time to his left. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
And the Browns first down.
Has not been a big game for him throwing the football. I think he feels like, let's try something different. Let's use the legs here and see if we can make some plays.
And no passing touchdowns, yardage not where he would like it.
Try something new. It worked there. This one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
I know that we've seen their share of struggles, and the quarterback's been hit a few times in this game, but this one can't be put on the offensive line. They gave him plenty of time to throw the football. I think ultimately he has to be a lot more decisive in his decision-making and get rid of it and find an open target.
And 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw again. Now it looks like we're going to get a stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. T.J. Watt picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Looking to throw. Gabriel. And it's incomplete.
Oh, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
Well, the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the fourth. And his kick is good. And that'll make this an 8-point game.
All right, let's give the kicker some credit here because he didn't let the inaccurate snap phase him whatsoever. Trusted his holder to get the ball down in time, stuck to his routine, and somehow found a way to put the ball through the uprights.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Able to avoid him. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. A short one there to Freiermuth. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On the draw, Gainwell. He'll get a yard. That's all as they get him down at the 28.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Flush to his right. And he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
The Waitman now to punt as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 20. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game, 1st and 10 here. And they'll begin by running the option. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
14. 1st down, Browns.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone that's the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
That'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense?
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Back to throw. Gabriel. Being chased out left. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 22-yard line. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
And this is a rarity in the NFL, a 100-yard game on the ground for a quarterback. Even as those passers get more athletic and mobile, we only see about 5 of these a season. Takes a special set of circumstances for it to happen, and of course, a special player.
From the 21, here's a second down and 9. A run, it's Judkins. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Cameron Hayward able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And his kick is indeed good, and that'll get the lead down to 5. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to keep going.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. From the 33, here's 2nd and 6. Now it's Rodgers. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. It's caught inside the 25. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. DK Metcalf. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead. Boswell for the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Browns offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
Well, this crowd into it now. 3rd and 2. Off the play fake. Gabriel. And that is incomplete. But a pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
That means there's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Another big play in a game that's had plenty of them. 4th and 2. They'll try it now with Jenkins. A little juke. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down.
Good spot on the field to go for it, kind of no man's land as they call it, and it worked out.
Yeah, they call it no man's land because your punter is telling you it's too short. I'm just going to punt it into the end zone. Your field goal kicker might give you a little raised eyebrow, might be too far for the field goal, so it gives you a great chance to go for it. Personally, if you have those tendencies to be aggressive as a head coach, you kind of like this spot because it gives you the decision to go ahead and go for it when you want to anyway.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
Here comes 2nd down. Looking to throw. Gabriel. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Now the focus is really clear. They need to get that 1st down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
Big play looming here. This is 3rd and 7 with a crowd on their feet. Operating from the gun. Gabriel. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Well, they need to score, and score quick. 1 timeout remaining. Final minute, 1st and 10. Out quickly to Judy.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
2nd and 5. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. And the crowd a major factor now. Here's 3rd down. Back to throw. Gabriel. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Boy, this crowd is on pins and needles now because anytime you see the ball heading for the end zone, you really hold your breath, and they come out of their seats. That one falls incomplete.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Yeah, the Browns are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. So it's a win here for the Steelers. And we've said it so many times in the past, but it was Aaron Rodgers, CD, who really led the way.
Yeah, you had to like what you saw. He was on point the whole game. Wound up going over 300 yards with 3 touchdown passes. That will definitely get the job done.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Steelers earn the win at home as we say so long from Pittsburgh.